This story that we're going to read is called The Declaration of Independence. And what's really cool about this is it is a reader's theater. So if you want to read this at home with a family member, a few family members, or some friends, or anyone that's around, that could be a really fun activity. And you can read these tips for rehearsing and performing the reader's theater. But for now, let's just listen to me read it to you. Here are the characters that we are going to see today. The narrator is the person who is explaining to the reader what is happening in the scene. Then we have Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock, Thomas Jefferson, William McCart, and John Dunlap. The setting for today is the Reader's Theater is taking place during the Second Continental Congress held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and this story is based on actual events. Here are pictures of our characters to help you picture them. So when I'm reading, I'm not going to say the character's name, but you can see right here who is saying each line. Congress meets in the State House. Some of the men want to break free of British rule. Others say that they should try talking to the King George. I spent years in Britain. I tried to make the king understand our concerns. He doesn't care. He'll keep taxing us to pay for his war with France. The king already ignored other men and their pleas last summer. It's too late. We've been at war with Great Britain for more than a year. We must be our own nation. That's the only way we can make sure our rights are protected. We need a government that will serve us, the people. I am tired of being ruled by a king who has never even seen this land. What does he know of the New World? Exactly. We are well within our rights to overthrow a king who doesn't respond to our needs. We must make these 13 colonies free and independent of Great Britain. Yet, we are British subjects. It is treason for us to talk of independence. If we lose the war, the king will hang us. True. But, as our friend Patrick Henry said, give me liberty or give me death. A boy listens at the door as the men continue to discuss the issues. Act 2. Young man, what are you doing here in the hallway? They're in there talking about breaking all ties with Great Britain. Yes, I know, and they have good reasons. I just hope they can come to an agreement. Aren't you one of the delegates, sir? No, I'm John Dunlap, the printer. My print shop is just around the corner. I think I want to become a printer too, just like Benjamin Franklin. Well, it's hard work and requires long hours. You should come visit my shop to see for yourself. I'd like that. Thank you, sir. So you won't tell them I was here? No. I was young once myself. A curious mind is one that loves to learn. Act 3. Gentlemen, I say we vote. Who is in favor of declaring freedom from Britain? The men from 12 of the 13 colonies vote yes. The delegates from New York vote no. Okay, it's settled then. We need to draft an official document. Mr. Jefferson, would you please write our declaration? John Adams, Ben Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston form a committee. They share their ideas with Jefferson. On July 2nd, Jefferson finishes the first draft. He shows it to Congress. Act 4. It took me 4 days to finish this. I hardly slept. Let's hear what you've written. The document is read aloud to the delegates. Some of them want some changes to be made to the Declaration. What is written must be something we'll all agree to sign, especially since we're putting our necks on the line. Just don't change the best line. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I agree. That line should stay. I like that the Declaration includes a list of the king's offenses. It's very clear that he has done a lot of intolerable things. King George has forced us to do this. Congress spends July 2nd and 3rd revising the document. I wish some of the men from the South would agree to keep the part about setting free the slaves. I don't want to strike it. It must be done. If we don't remove it, they won't sign. Okay, the part about the slaves has been removed for the Declaration. Now, do we all agree with what has been written? All of the delegates vote yes. Act 5. On July 4th, John Hancock signs the official document, the Declaration of Independence. Charles Thomson signs it too. There isn't time for the others to sign. We must get copies made right away. There has been a boy in the hallway for the past few days. Perhaps he would take it to the printer. Young man, come out from behind that door. I'm sorry, sir. I meant no harm. I was just so interested in what you've been saying. What's your name? My name is William McCart, sir. William, take this paper to Mr. Dunlap, the printer. Tell him we must have 200 copies by morning. Right away, sir. But why do you need 200 copies? Our fellow countrymen will want to know what we have decided. All of the people are waiting to hear from us. We should send our best riders to deliver copies to every town. Act 6. Sir, I have here the Declaration of Independence. How many copies do they want me to make? 200. By morning. By morning? I'm going to need help. I could help you. We'll have to work all night. Go ask your mother if it's all right. William returns an hour later. I read this while you were gone. Do you understand its importance? I think it means that the fighting will continue with Britain. Yes, but there's more. This is the first time that anyone has ever said that a government should benefit the people. It says that kings must treat their subjects fairly. I heard the men call King George a tyrant. He is that and much more. King George thinks that because he was born to be a king, he can rule any way he likes. He considers himself above other men. The Declaration says that all men are to be treated equal. Yes, indeed. Now please hand me that tray of type. We need to get busy. Act 7. Mr. Dunlap, I know Ben Franklin. My father loves to read his almanac. But I don't know much about the rest of the men in Congress. Can you tell me about them? John Hancock serves as president of the Second Continental Congress. He is from Massachusetts. Do you know Mr. Jefferson? Jefferson comes from Virginia. He is a lawyer who trusts people to govern themselves. I see Charles Thomson signed this. Who is he? Charles Thomson is the secretary. He serves the Congress without pay. He keeps the best records I have ever seen. The Indians in Delaware call Charles Thomson man of truth. Why wasn't George Washington there at the meeting? People say he is a great leader. He is leading the army. He could not leave his troops. They may be fighting the British now, as we speak. Now, let's ink the type, William. Act 8. On July 8th, all but the delegates from New York signed the Declaration of Independence. Mr. Hancock, why did you sign your name so large? So King George can read my name without his spectacles, which are glasses. Men, I hope you all understand that signing this is the same as taking a sacred vow. We must all stick together on this. If not, the king will charge each of us with treason. He will target our homes and our families. That's right. We may just have signed our own death warrants. Come, let's read our declaration to the people of this fine city. Ring the old State House bell. A crowd forms on the steps of the old State House. William and Mr. Dunlap listen as the declaration is read to the people. I heard Congress debate those words. Then I helped you print them. But I never understood the power of the words until they were read just now. Remember this day, my boy. You will tell your grandchildren about it someday. Act 9. On July 9th, New York agrees to sign the Declaration of Independence. At last, we are all in agreement. We will fight for our freedom, and we will win. On August 2nd, 1776, 56 men signed the official Declaration of Independence. The king wanted to punish the men who signed it. British soldiers were ordered to burn some of their homes. 20 of the delegates lost everything and died poor. 5 were captured and thrown in jail. Yet, none of them ever regretted signing the document. And here's where you can sing the song, My Country 'Tis of Thee. Here are poems, a poem that needs to be read on a page, and here's the song lyrics for you if you'd like. But this is the end of the story, boys and girls. Here's our glossary that has definitions of words that we read on the pages. And that's it. That was our story. So remember, if you are interested, you can find a family member or anyone else around the house, and you can practice reading this story out loud together to perform your own Reader's Theater. I hope you enjoyed this.